This free step-by-step video comes to you directly from Haynes, creators of the world's best repair manuals. Fix your car or truck the right way with our accurate and reliable information at your side. You can complete more than 200 jobs on this vehicle when you purchase the complete online manual at Haynes.com.
Thermostat and water control valve replacement. Pull the hood release lever located above the driver's side kick panel. Lift the hood safety latch, then raise the hood upwards. Loosen the cable nut on the negative battery terminal. Then disconnect the negative battery cable. Position the cable aside to prevent accidental reconnection. Cooling system draining. Apply the handbrake. Chock the rear wheels to prevent the vehicle from rolling. Then raise the front of the car and support it on jack stands. Remove the splash shield between the bumper cover and the subframe. Remove the radiator cap. Move a large container under the radiator drain to catch the coolant. Using a large screwdriver, open the radiator drain plug and direct the coolant into the container. Once the coolant has drained completely, close the radiator drain plug. Dispose of the used coolant properly. Install the lower splash shield. Lower the car to the ground. Unblock the wheels. Remove the exhaust manifold heat shield. Loosen the clamp and remove the lower radiator hose and transaxle fluid cooler hose, if equipped, from the thermostat water inlet housing. If the hose is stuck, grasp it near the end with a pair of large adjustable pliers and twist it to break the seal. Then pull it off. Unscrew the water inlet mounting bolts and remove the water inlet. Be prepared for some coolant to spill as the gasket seal is broken. Remove the thermostat. Clean the water inlet and engine block mating surfaces of the old gasket material. Install a new sealing ring onto the thermostat, then insert the thermostat into the housing. Make sure that the air bleed valve faces up and the spring end of the valve is directed toward the engine. Install the water inlet over the thermostat and thread in the mounting bolts. Tighten the thermostat water inlet mounting bolts to the specified torque setting. Connect the radiator hose to the water inlet and secure it with a hose clamp. Install the exhaust manifold heat shield. Secure the oxygen sensor harness into the heat shield clip and tighten the mounting bolts securely. Water control valve replacement. Loosen the cable nut, then disconnect the negative battery cable. Flip open the protective cover, then loosen the nut and disconnect the positive cable from the battery. Remove the battery hold-down bracket from the top of the battery. Lift out the battery. Be careful, it's heavy. Remove the plastic fasteners at the front of the air inlet duct, then free the rear of the duct from the clips on the air filter housing. Remove the air inlet duct. Loosen the hose clamp at the air intake duct and crankcase ventilation hose. Then remove the mounting bolt and remove the upper intake air resonator. Unscrew the battery tray mounting bolts. Detach the necessary wiring harness clips from the tray, then disconnect the electrical connectors from the PCM and TCM modules, which are also mounted to the tray. Remove the bolts, then remove the battery tray, noting that there is a ground wire fastened by one of the bolts. Detach and position aside the interfering wiring harness, making sure to keep track of the wiring harness retaining points. Remove the heater pipe mounting bolts, one on the face of the coolant outlet housing and one near the front side. Disconnect the heater pipe to the front of the coolant outlet housing. Remove the necessary coolant hoses from the coolant outlet housing, taking note of which hoses go where. Also disconnect the electrical connector. Remove the coolant outlet housing mounting bolts. Remove the coolant outlet housing. Be prepared for some coolant to spill as the gasket seal is broken. Remove the water control valve. Clean the mating surfaces of all gasket or sealant. Install a new sealing ring onto the new water control valve. Insert the valve into the housing. Make sure the air bleed holes face up and the spring end of the valve is directed toward the housing. It should be facing away from the engine. Using a new gasket, install the coolant outlet housing assembly and thread in the mounting bolts. Tighten the bolts evenly to the specified torque setting. Install a new O-ring on the end of the heater pipe where it mates with the engine. Then apply a light film of coolant to the O-ring and insert the heater pipe into the engine. Install the two heater pipe mounting bolts. Tighten them securely. Connect the electrical connector and various coolant hoses to their correct locations on the outlet housing. Secure all hoses with the hose clamps. Reposition the wiring harnesses, attaching them to the noted retaining points. Install the battery tray assembly and mounting bolts. Remember to thread the end bolt through the ground wire. Attach the wiring harnesses to the noted points on the battery tray. Tighten the battery tray mounting bolts securely. Position the plastic lining onto the tray, then carefully connect the PCM and TCM module electrical connectors. Make sure to secure the connectors with the locking levers. Install the upper air intake resonator, then tighten the mounting bolt and hose clamps securely. Install the air inlet duct and plastic fasteners. Install the battery onto the battery tray. Install the battery hold-down clamp. Tighten the clamp bolts securely. Connect the positive cable to the positive terminal of the battery. Tighten the cable nut securely, then secure the protective cover over the positive terminal. Connect the negative cable to the negative terminal of the battery. Tighten the cable nut securely. Cooling system filling. Slowly refill the radiator with the specified coolant until the coolant reaches the lip on the radiator filler neck. Install the radiator cap. Add coolant to the reservoir up to the lower mark. Then install the reservoir cap. Slowly remove the radiator cap. Add more coolant mixture to bring the level back up to the lip on the radiator filler neck. Squeeze the upper radiator hose to expel air, then add more coolant mixture if necessary. Install the radiator cap. Make sure the coolant level in the reservoir is within the correct range. When the engine is hot, the coolant will expand, and the level should be at or near the max mark.